All right, everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Matt. My daughter's not out here, so there won't be a fart sound here. But this is the Gaming Corner. Now, today, even though 2025 is not over yet, we are going to start the 2025 year in review for how many games I have picked up per unit. Now, unfortunately, I made a huge blunder error. I wasn't tracking all the games properly, especially for the Nintendo units. But that is what we are going to start off with today, is Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. Now, as far as I can remember, at the start of 2025, I only had 27 Super Nintendo games. I really did not add much to that collection, but that's all right. And for the regular Nintendo system, it says I have 33. Probably that would be correct for coming out of 2025. I do remember at least a couple games I picked up, but that's all beside the point. But what we're going to do in this video is we are going to show you guys what I would call my top picks for the year from Nintendo. Now, when it comes to the Super Nintendo, the top picks for that are rather kind of nice in my opinion. The first one that is my top pick, which would make it 28 games now on my Nintendo that I can remember, happens to be Mortal Kombat 2. Now, gameplay is going to be popping up over here someplace on one of these two sides since I have my camera in a new position now. But I am thoroughly impressed with Mortal Kombat 2 on the Super NES. It is well worth it. Graphics. There was the fart sound. In case you guys didn't hear it, do it one more time. That was really low, Lizzie. Try it again. There we go. I don't know why she's doing the height first. I mean, but hey, whatever. But yeah, the Super Nintendo version of Mortal Kombat 2 is freaking awesome. Graphics, the colors, the sound, even the gameplay is totally miles above what Mortal Kombat 1's gameplay was. Mortal Kombat 2 is way above that. And yeah, sound, color, the voices, the gameplay, just totally awesome. Now, I originally had Mortal Kombat 2 on my Genesis. So I never played Mortal Kombat 2 for the Super Nintendo until this year. And yeah, comparing the two, since I did play both of them side by side today, which will pop up two things over here now. Definitely got to give Nintendo credit on this one when they brought it out on their Super Nintendo system. They fixed a lot of stuff that was wrong with Mortal Kombat 1, which mainly was the control. Sound-wise, color-wise, all that, the Super Nintendo version of MK2 beats the Genesis, but the Genesis still holds it for the sheer speed. The way the game plays, the way the game feels, the Genesis is still better in the 2, but in reality, that's about the real big thing, where the Genesis gameplay is more fluid, I guess would be the way to put it, compared to Nintendo. It moves better. But physically wise, the Nintendo one is miles above what the Genesis did when it came to color, sound, listen, even the gameplay. This one, well worth it. I think this one's a bit easier than the Genesis version also. But all right, we're going to stick with the Super Nintendo. Drop something. And this next game, I don't have any gameplay footage of, but this is one that I definitely wanted to see. I have the compilation versions of this on the computer for GOG. Comes with the Genesis version, the Nintendo version, all that kind of stuff. I also have it on my Switch. But I really wanted the cartridge version so I can pop it in and actually play it the way it was meant to be played. And I want to really see the big difference between this one and the Genesis version. And that happens to be Aladdin. Now, this is a Japanese version because it was cheaper. Still plays fine. And this one I'm not sure which one I like more yet. I'm gonna have to do a side-by-side playthrough of both games to see which one I like more. But this one's got some, again, really great graphics, great color, great everything. I think this music choices in the Genesis version were better than this one, from what I remember. But I really do need to do, I can't speak anymore, a side-by-side of this one versus the Genesis, and just play them out like I did with Mortal Kombat 2, to get the different feel for each game. But all right, this next one will have gameplay pop up in one of these two corners again. There's another Japanese one. This is one that I wanted. There's still, I think, 2 more titles in this one I need to get my hands on. But this one rocks. I've been playing this one like crazy. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And it is Final Fight 2. This is amazing. This is one hell of a game. I like the fact that when you're watching the gameplay up here, if I remember to put it in, because that's edited in later, you know, you get Chun-Li in the background in one of them and all that. But wow, for a beat 'em up game, I love beat 'em ups. They're a blast to play. And this one for a beat 'em up, Final Fight 2, well worth the money. I don't remember what I paid for it, but this is one I am definitely glad I got. I don't care that the story, when you go to the little cutscenes, is in Japanese. I don't care. I just love playing it to beat people up. All right, that's going to take us over to the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, I did pick up a few other games other than this one I'm about to show, but this is probably the one I wanted the most. And I'm glad I got it. And there will be a side-by-side of the two shortly after I talk about it. But this one happens to be Shinobi. Now, this was an unlicensed game that Tengen made that was not licensed by Sega. Sega did not, as far as I know, give them the rights to make this or Afterburner or any of their games. And this one, compared to the Master System version, just like Afterburner, there are some real differences in here. Now, as you're watching the gameplay pop up, one of the biggest differences that annoys me in this one is when you go from the lower level and you go up, if you have an enemy in the area, you will be hit. Because the game doesn't wait to register for when you land before they move, since the game has to pause. The Master System version does the same thing, but the enemies don't hit you. They actually wait for you to land, then they do whatever move they have. Not in this one. The other big difference, as you are watching what should be gameplay of both up here right now, is when you get to the end boss. The end boss on the Master System one, if I jump when he throws the fireballs and I jump up, the fireballs will go up. That doesn't happen in this one. So it makes fighting the boss in this one a little bit different. And truthfully, I think he's a bit harder in this one than he is in the Master System one. But when it comes to the sound and the music and everything, both this one and the Master System are awesome. I don't know if you're going to hear the sound from the two versions that are up here, but since I was playing the Master System one on my Retron 5, it uses the FM sound chip, so the music sounds even different. And that, so it doesn't sound like what it did on my Master System. But yeah, this one, well worth the money, just like Afterburner that they did, definitely well worth it. All right, so that is it for the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And apparently my daughter is still very gassy. There were some Nintendo Switch games. I don't know if I'm going to go over those or not right now, but those were the main ones, since I happen to be a huge fan of the 8-bit era and the 16-bit era. I really didn't pick up anything else for the Nintendo 64. I am sitting at, should be 17 games, because I forgot to mark one in there. 17? Actually, my fault, 20. Because of the Japanese ones. I have 17 US and then 3 Japanese games for that. The Switch, I'm sitting at about 37 games for the start of 2026. So, with all that in mind, yeah, I now have 28 Super Nintendo games. And then I have 9 Japanese Super Nintendo games. So 2026, I'll make sure I keep track of things a little bit better than what I did this year. And we'll see what I have next year. But all right, everybody, I want to thank you for watching this video. Thank you to everybody who is subscribed. My daughter is really gassy over there for some reason. She missed the opening fart part, so she's doing it throughout the whole video. Jeesh. Lizzie, go to the bathroom.
Oh, you go to the bathroom. You're gassier.
All right, everybody. Oh, the joys of having a autistic daughter. She makes videos fun. But all right, I am done with this video for now. I'm going to be working on my Sega collections. That is the main one that I've been concentrating on. So stay tuned for that as I continue getting that one set up. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video and next year.